Hi everyone, it's Mary with Happy Pine Soap. Welcome back to my channel. Today I present a brand new recipe which you are welcome to use. I will include it in today's video so that you can practice as well. Just a simple recipe. We're gonna stick very simple today for those who are true beginners and want to just kind of get their hands in there and just get some practice. This is a variation of the extremely simple recipe that most soapers know with coconut oil, olive oil, and palm oil, except that I added just a couple of extra ingredients to boost its mildness and its lather. And I will go ahead and I will lather test this one as well at the end. So, if you would like to learn a new simple recipe with about 6 ingredients, this will be perfect for you. So let's get started. I'm also going to show you how to resize your recipe, okay? So today's recipe is a 5-pound recipe. It's very big, as you can see. So say you don't have that many ingredients, or maybe you don't have this mold and you would like to make a smaller batch. Say maybe a 3-pound batch. So that's this mold here. I'm going to show you today how you can resize recipes easily as well using soap calc. So feel free to stick with me and we'll cover all of this today. Here is the recipe we'll be using today. I will go ahead in the second half of this tutorial show you how to resize this exact recipe into a smaller 3-pound mold. But the way that I'll show you, you can extrapolate to say a 2-pound mold, or maybe you have a 1-pound, recipe as well, maybe some cavity molds that you want to use. But you will be able to resize this recipe for any mold you might have at home, and I'll show you how to do that in the second half of this video. I'm using a combination of 2 fragrances here from Brambleberry. They smell absolutely wonderful together, and I like to pre-weigh them and have them ready to go. Our palm oil is from Brambleberry, and our cocoa butter is Crafter's Choice, and you can get this at wholesale supplies. This is from Costco. This is coconut oil. Castor oil is also from Brambleberry, and then the last 2 are also from Costco, the olive oil and the avocado oil. I like to start each one of my recipes with weighing out and separately putting the hard oils together, which I then like to melt. So this is a combination of palm, coconut oil, and cocoa butter here that have all been weighed out according to what the recipe shows. Here I'm showing the hard oils that have been partially melted in the microwave. I like to microwave them for about 30 to 60 seconds at a time, and I will keep checking the temperature with my thermometer here to make sure they're not getting overheated. And once they're to about 160 degrees, all the oils should be melted at this point, and you're ready to go on with your soft oils. Now that your hard oils are melted, it's the perfect time to add your soft oils, which are those that are liquid at room temperature. This is the olive oil being weighed out and added. It's a little bit cloudy just because it's been stored in a very cold environment, so it gets a little bit cloudy, but it quickly warms up, and you'll see that it turns clear as soon as it hits those wonderfully warm hard oils. Here is the avocado oil. That's also being carefully weighed and added. And last but not least is our castor oil. You can go ahead and carefully weigh that out and gently stir it in. And you'll see that once the soft oils are added to the hard oils, that the mixture will quickly reduce in temperature from about 156, which was the starting point with the hard oils, and now to about 110 degrees. We are ready to start soaping. Our oils now have dropped to about 97 degrees, and our lye solution is about 112 degrees. I will say that this mixture accelerated a bit more than I was expecting. So for better results, I would say soap at lower temperatures than I did. So maybe let your lye solution cool to around 100 degrees and your oils to around 90 degrees, and that will probably give you a bit more time than I had. This step is entirely optional. I went ahead and strained my lye through a stainless steel mesh strainer just because I saw a few white specks in the lye solution. So just to be sure there was no undissolved lye, I put it through the strainer. But if your lye solution looks nice and clear, you don't have to do this step. I went ahead and stick blended my solution together for about 15 seconds. And again, this mixture did accelerate a bit more than I thought it would. So I would say for better success, don't stick blend yours any more than say 10 seconds, especially if it's a smaller batch. Say if it's a 3-pound batch, I would go even shorter than that, maybe 7 seconds. As you see, I'm adding the pre-measured fragrance now. And this is where I started to notice the batch was going a little faster in terms of acceleration. You can see it's becoming quite thick, actually, just even hand stirring. So basically, I quickly got it into my mold, and I'll show you how I textured the top right after this. When soap batters start to accelerate pretty quickly, the good news is they are perfect then for a nice textured soap top, like you see me doing here with a spoon. Some of my recipes have been super fluid, and when they're super fluid, you can't do these textured soap tops because the batter will stay basically too liquid, where it won't hold a texture basically. So this one does hold a texture nicely. So if you do some of the tips I said earlier to slow down the batter, such as waiting till it's even lower in temperature before starting to actually mix the lye and the oils, and then as well using your stick blender just barely, use it less time than I did, so less than those 15 seconds. You might have a bit more working time than I did. And I do have some additional recipes with just a few ingredients that I'll link below in the description as well. And one of them is a super fluid recipe if you're looking for that as well. So this was unmolded about 6 to 8 hours after it was poured. This recipe is ready to cut pretty darn quick. And here you see me carefully just cleaning up some of the edges with a vegetable peeler. I love these multi-bar cutters. They make cutting soap so much easier. They are a little pricey, so if you're a beginning soaper, don't worry about that. You can cut soap with just a single wire cutter or even a knife. You don't have to have one of these at first if you're just getting used to making soap. And due to how thick the soap batter got, you do see a few air bubbles in the soap. But again, that's only cosmetic. It's not harmful at all. And in fact, I think it kind of makes it look a little bit rustic, which is kind of nice for this particular simple bar. So after all is said and done, I will say I think this is my absolute favorite recipe I've come up with in terms of how wonderful it feels on the skin and how much lather it has. So I went ahead and did a simple lather test. This recipe by far lathers the most copious amounts of lather that I've made yet, and it feels fabulous on the skin, so silky and smooth, and it just is so conditioning and nourishing too with the addition of that cocoa butter and avocado oil. That makes this recipe so much more mild than the original kind of trifecta of the palm, olive oil, and coconut oil. That one can potentially strip the skin a bit more of moisture because coconut oil can be very drying actually. So with this additional avocado and cocoa butter, it is just so moisturizing and gentle on the skin, and the lather is phenomenal. Okay, we're on to the second part, resizing soap recipes. Don't worry, it's easy. Soap Calculator or Soap Calc will take care of all of the math for you, so no worries. The original recipe is 77.68 ounces. Let's say you don't want to make a 5-pound recipe like my original one. Let's pretend maybe you have like a 3-pound mold. I think this one is about 3 pounds from Brambleberry. So how would you resize a recipe using Soap Calculator? I will show you exactly how that's done. The first step is to weigh the new mold that you want to use without anything in it. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, it's about 21.94 ounces. Let me make sure. Ooh, almost 22. Let's go with 22, okay? Just because some of it hangs off. So I'm going to write 22 ounces here. And of course, this is the empty weight. And then let's go ahead and fill it with water now and see the new weight, okay? Okay, I have carefully filled it with some water. Let's go ahead and see the new weight. Ooh, all right, about 68.71. Let me make sure and kind of move it around a little. Yeah, about 68.71 does look to be 68.8. You could even say, let's make it 69 ounces just to make it even since it's not quite all the way to the top. All right, 69 ounces is what it weighs full. So 69 minus 22 is going to be 47 ounces is how much is in that new mold. So this is your new amount that you want to figure out using Soap Calculator. So let's go to Soap Calculator now and I'll show you how you do that. Here is our original recipe, and as you can see, we had the starting ounce is 77.68, which roughly equates to about almost 5 pounds. And I'm going to show you how we're going to adjust that for our new 47 ounce amount that we need. Okay, here is our original 5-pound recipe. As you can see, it says about almost 5 pounds here, and we want this original recipe to be the new 47 ounce. So you see 5-pound recipe has about 77, almost 78 ounces. So this amount here, we need to drop down to 47 ounces. So how do we do that? Let's go ahead and show you. So here is the original recipe as it looked in Soap Calculator before I actually pressed calculate. So like when you calculate and you view or print down here, that's what brings up this page here that I just showed you, just for those who might not know that. All right. So basically I'm going to click off, my apologies, got to adjust the angle here. I'm going to click off of this one page and we're going to go back to Soap Calc. Okay. All right. So we want the new weight to be 47 ounces. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the weight of oils, and this is the only number that you are going to mess with. Let's take off 10, all right? And let's see what that calculates to. Oh, my apologies. That would be 47. Okay, so you're going to go and calculate, and then when you press view or print, that is what brings up this lovely new window. All right, so we're looking for 47 here, and notice it dropped at 10, but it didn't drop it to 47. So my guess is we're probably gonna have to take another 13-ish off in order to drop it. So I'm gonna click out of this window here, and we're gonna go back to Soap Calc. All right, let's go ahead and drop this down to 30 and see what happens. All right, that's all you're changing. You're not changing anything else. Go ahead and press calculate and view or print. All right, how many ounces? Oh, look, I took too many. We got 40, but that's not 47. So I took a little bit too much off. It's about 2.5 pounds. So let's add a few extra ounces back on. And this is literally all I do when I'm trying to adjust recipes. Let's put 33. And hopefully that is going to change and get it right where we need it to be. Ooh, close, close. Let's do 35. We're so close. Calculate, view print. Aha, here you go. All right, you see? Now we have 47 ounces roughly, and notice that that's about 3 pounds. So that 3-pound mold, this new adjusted amounts, and it will adjust basically the ounces are completely adjusted now. The lye is reduced as well, so you're not overdoing the lye, making it unsafe. The fragrance has been adjusted, so that's also a new safe amount. But all the proportions are exactly the same as they were in the original recipe, and the only thing that's different is essentially everything's been reduced so that it will fit into a 3-pound mold, that 47 ounce from our original calculations that we have here. So I hope that made sense, and I hope you found that helpful. And again, if you want to know more about soap calc and how to use it, I have another video that goes step by step and teaches you how to use this soap calculator as well. I will link that below, so go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for all of the background noise. My heater has been running nonstop thanks to the very cold weather, as you can see. So it does interfere with the microphone a little bit, so I apologize. But as you can see, I am cozy in my home making soap, and it can't really get much better than that. So if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe if you haven't. That helps my channel grow. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.